Good morning, everybody. I hope that you are doing terrific on this July 31st. This is an amazing day to do some little bit of work before the end of the month on our sales. And we got some great things we want to show you today. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing great. How are you, Vincent?
Excellent. Are you still at the cabin?
No, I'm back here.
You're
Back
back
here,
in
just near
London. Okay,
Toronto.
good.
Yeah.
Cool. So today I want to talk to you guys about a few things that will make a big difference in your sales. We're going to have a quick conversation about that. And I got a great news. We added the sales boost section on the software, one click showing. What does that mean? That every time we do a video, every Wednesday, every Thursday, it's being uploaded directly for you guys on the platform. And you can just keep getting results every week, every day. You just log in, you look at the topic you need help with. Can be listings, can be leads, can be sales, can be mindset. You watch the video and you get some results. So today I want to talk to you about the Olympics. There is the Olympics right now, and I have a friend of mine. I used to swim with him. I used to swim with him, and he became in the Beijing Olympics and in the London Olympics Olympic champion. Now, when he won the medal, it was a very exciting time for me because we used to have the same trainer and we used to train together. But I noticed something is like he really became famous and wealthy because he was at the 100 meter freestyle in swimming, which is like the core, which is the main event in swimming, the 100 meter freestyle. But when he won for a very small little margin. And the second person pretty much never heard of this person, not very much, and they didn't win that much money. And in sports, it's very unfair. It's just like in sales. At least in sports, you have a silver medal because in sales we don't have a silver medal. And in life, it's called the law of winning edge. And the law of winning edge states that a small difference in effort will end up in a huge difference in results. So if my friends won, and I don't remember the exact time because it was a while ago, but I think it was like 47 second 95, and the second guy was 48.02. It's just 7 cents of a second, but it made a huge difference. And of course, you got the gold medal, mediatization, more money, and things like this. And it's the same. If you look at a horse race, the first race is going to win a lot of money, and the second one very little, and the fourth one pretty much nothing. But they are in proportion to their performance. Maybe the fourth race is 0.002% less faster than the horse number one, but they win million more. So this is unfair. And welcome to life. Life is unfair. Welcome to sales. Sales is unfair. And remember, and I'm talking a reference to the Olympics, there's maybe like the roaring at the Olympics. You don't get rewarded by how fast you row. You get rewarded by how fast your craft go in the direction toward the winning line. So this is what matters. This is not about the largest amount of effort. This is about how fast your craft goes. And we want to help you get faster. That's why we do these calls every week. I'm really excited about this. Another thing that I want to tell you is if you want to get better, there is one advice I'm going to give you. Play against better opponent. This is actually from the Fundamental of Chess. It's a little book, 1885, an old book, Fundamental of Chess. And there is this quote that I love and I wrote down, and it says, the only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opponent. The only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opponent. So it's the same thing we are doing in sales. If you keep playing little one, trying to sell little boat, you're just going to have little results. I want you to step up your game. I've heard it many times and I've seen it, I've experienced for myself. Sometimes it takes the same amount of effort or even more effort to sell a cheap boat than an expensive boat. This guy earlier in my career told me, he said, it takes the same amount of effort to sell a $50,000 boat than $1 million boat. So why would you sell a $50,000 boat? So here is what I want to challenge you to. I want to challenge you to go to the top and build your way up. What does that mean? Go to the top, start from the top and build your way up. It means that I want you to do something bold. I want you to start with something bold. If you want to tell me I want to start in boat sales and one day I want to sell big boat, well, start selling big boat right now. Don't wait for 20 years and find a way to start selling big boats right now. It reminds me of the quote from Elon Musk. He said, if you plant a tomato, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a gardener. If you cook some spaghetti, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a cook. But if you fuck a horse, you're going to be a horse fucker for the rest of your life. And I mean, it's not the nicest quote, you know, it's not kids-friendly quote, but it makes you think. It makes you think. Now, today I want to talk to you about, I want to suggest you something. I want to suggest you something that will help you a lot in sales. It's like the saying, like I think they say, like go big or go home or something. Well, it's even further than that. It's not go big or go home. For me, it's like go crazy. I want you to go the absolute, I want you to do the absolute craziest things that you think you can do. There's a great book that I like, Napoleon CEO. And Paul and I often makes reference to Napoleon. Paul reads a lot of biography about historical biography, about historical figures. He suggested to me that I read about Genghis Khan, and it was an amazing story. It was an amazing, fascinating Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan. There is so much we can learn from these old historical leaders. But Napoleon, there was one particular story that I really liked about Napoleon is one day he was facing an army and he was after, you know, he already had some big defeat and stuff, but he wants to plan a comeback and he wants to defeat an army. And what he does is he's going alone in front of the army. That's the craziest things you can do. It's like there's an army of 10,000 men and you will walk alone toward them. But guess what? What do you think the other army is going to do? Oh, let's put 10,000 men and kill him. No, they started to talk and he started to convince them and he started to win them. Not physically, of course, but by the big brass balls, I will say, that he had because he did that. So I want you to have the same philosophy. I want you to have the same philosophy. What's the craziest things? What's the boldest things you can do? I'll give you an example. For me, it's like, what's the boldest thing I can do? I'm going to send a letter to the CEO of MarineMax. And I'm going to make sure that I want to tell him, look, I want to go on lunch with you. I want to have a phone conversation with you because he's the highest guy. If you look in the boating industry worldwide, he's got 3,200 employees. He's got the largest corporation in the boating industry. So I'm like, well, that would be the craziest thing that I can do, maybe. That would be to connect with these guys. So I'm working on a letter. I was working on a letter and I'm about to send maybe today or tomorrow and a letter and an email. And I'm going to try and connect with him. So I'm challenging you to do something similar. What's the craziest things you can do? Well, find the wealthiest guy in your town and connect with this person. Find the guy that has the biggest boat in your town. Even if you're a small boat broker, it doesn't matter. But why is it important to do that? Because when you do that, it's going to come back to the quote we said earlier about the only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opposite, right? So the only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opposite. You're going to play a smarter opposite. If you're going to be the most successful person in the industry, the most successful person in your town, the richest person in your town, now you're going to level up your game. And by playing a higher game, you're going to get some better results. So I'm challenging you to doing it. I'm challenging you to doing it. My business coach was telling me a story of his most successful student. And I'm like, how did he become successful? It's like, and he said, he almost have lack of social skills, like Asperger's syndrome type of thing. Like he would not realize, but he will see someone and he will ask them, hey, who's the most successful person you know? Or who's the wealthiest person you know? Can you refer them to me? Blatantly will ask that all the time. But guess what? Every 3-4 times he asks, someone will refer them to the most successful, the wealthiest person they know. And he keeps growing and he has been keeping growing like this since he started his firm. And now he's very successful. Now I think he's selling like life insurance to the richest. Because why? Because he's going to the top. He's going for it. He's facing the army. So I'm challenging you to do this. Because remember the law of winning edge. So today, recap, we talk about the law of winning edge. We talk about the fundamental of chess, that the smartest way for you to get better, to get smarter is by playing a smarter opponent. And we talk about Napoleon facing the army. And I'm like, what's the craziest things you can do every day? So I want you to, it's like failing, right? But it's not, and it doesn't even matter when you fail, when you do something crazy, because you expect to fail anyway. If you face an army of 10,000 people, what do you expect to win? But if you win, one day you'll win, because step by step, you're going to get more comfortable and better and more confident. So this is what I want to share with you today. So any notes on that? Paul, anything you'd like to add about today's topic? Well, I know it was kind of like a little bit different than usual, but this, I think it's mindset, and this is what we really need to emphasize. So let me know.
Well, I was just going to say, and you've said this to me a couple times now, so I just wanted to reiterate it to people because I think it's actually very smart, but you have to hear it a couple times. And it's just that strategy for building your network, asking that question, what was it, who is the most successful person you know? Now that I've heard that 3 or 4 times, now it really hit me how good of a, approach that is. That's a very smart way, I think, of building a network. You start doing that over time, and I could see that really, you start to climb the ladder and develop a high net worth network, right? So good question, I think, to ask when you're dealing with clients, right?
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you're working in the boating industry where you're selling a product that very few people can afford. You're selling a product that is the first things that go in a case of if there is, an economic downturn. And so you want to sell to affluent people, and you want to connect with affluent people. So it's really important that you realize that if you don't do that, you're going to have some challenges. Excellent.
Yeah, that, and just as you said, the difference between, the amount of effort in, say, selling a $50,000 boat and a $5 million boat, but the end result is way different, right? So
exactly, the end result is one. I mean, you have a multiple 6-figure commission, and the other one you have a few $100. And that will make a big difference in your life. Totally. But it's all about mindset. Again, it's all about mindset. It's at the end of the day, it's all about mindset. So I want to thank you for that. Good news is those videos are uploaded. As I said earlier, they are uploaded directly in One Click Showing. So if you are a member of One Click Showing, if you have your system, it's awesome for you because you're going to be able to access them every week, and we're excited for you. So I want to thank you so much for this call. Wish you an amazing day, and talk soon, guys, and have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, Vincent. Bye. Cheers. Bye.